Welcome to your teaching guide. This is the reading skills series. Reading helps you improve your vocabulary, spelling and grammar. रोज़ाना अपनी किताबें पढ़ना सिर्फ एक आदत नहीं बल्कि कामयाबी की चाबी है। जब आप रोज़ाना थोड़ा थोड़ा पढ़ते हैं तो मुश्किल टॉपिक्स भी आसान लगने लगते हैं। ये आदत ना सिर्फ आपको एग्ज़ाम्स में हेल्प करती है बल्कि आपको सेल्फ कॉन्फिडेंस भी देती है। So make a habit, read your textbooks every day for 10 to 15 minutes. Small efforts daily lead to big results. Let's start. Please open Book 4, New Oxford Modern English, Chapter 10, The Wise Villagers. There was once a large village that lay near a wide river. The land was rich and fertile, and the people who lived there were happy and wealthy. They had no enemies and lived peacefully. They troubled no one, and no one troubled them. However, there was one problem in the otherwise peaceful lives of the villagers. A wide river separated the village from the city nearby. In order to get to the government school or the healthcare facility, the villagers had to walk half a mile to reach the other side of the river. Walking around the river had become a tiresome task for the people of the village. While the community had local shops for buying essential things such as groceries and clothes, not having quick access to the hospital was becoming a major problem. One of the villagers had gotten severely ill because he was not able to get to the hospital on time. Not only that, many of the kids were dropping out of school because getting across the river was so inconvenient. One day, the elders of the village decided to gather together to address this issue. They gathered in the marketplace to discuss a plan to tackle this problem. The elders called upon the people of the village to join them and participate in coming up with useful solutions. The villagers knew that they must work together as one to solve their dilemma, or else they would end up suffering a lot more. They sat in the meeting for a long time and many ideas were suggested. We can use our fisherman's rowboat to get to the other side of the river, suggested one person. Many people agreed a boat could be a solution to their problem. They could easily use it to row across the river. But one villager argued, "No, that won't be practical. What if the boat is completing a round of dropping people off on the other side and someone urgently needs to go to the hospital from this side? What will we do then?" "Yes," agreed another. "We would need a lot of boats if many of us wanted to cross the river. Also, we would need people to row the boats for us. Not all of us know how to maneuver one." Therefore, the villagers agreed. It would be more practical to have multiple boats, but the fishermen did not have any extra boats to spare. So they were back to square one. They needed to come up with a solution that was more efficient. More ideas were suggested, but for every idea there was always a drawback or two. The people in the meeting were starting to get antsy. What if there was no solution? Everyone had started speaking at once, talking over each other. The elders saw the hubbub and were disappointed. The meeting had not helped at all. In the midst of all the noise, a timid voice called out, "I know of a solution." At first, no one heard the little kid, so he spoke a little louder. "I know what we can do." People started to quieten down. The elders summoned him forward. "Come up here, boy. Speak what you have to say." The boy walked over to where the elders were sitting, and all eyes were on him. He started speaking. "My science book is full of pictures of big metal bridges built over large rivers. There are big suspension bridges and bridges with arches and beams. Once I grow up, I'll be an engineer, and then I can build a bridge over the river for us to cross." The people were amazed at the boy's brilliant idea. Why hadn't they thought of it? A bridge could be the perfect solution. What's more, the boy's idea made them realize that it's vital that they build this connection to the city. If they were unable to find a solution, the children would not have access to their school and education. The boy would not have been able to come up with this idea if he didn't have his book. So it was really important that they built this bridge. One of the elders chuckled. "That's a very good idea, boy, but we are going to need an engineer right now if we are going to build this bridge of yours." Finally, the villagers had a solid plan that they could work with. The idea was a good one. Build a bridge across the narrowest length of the river. All they had to do was execute it. At last, the meeting ended and they all went home happy and excited. They finally had a solution. But as you know, building a bridge takes a lot of time, effort, and resources. Although the village was a prosperous one and the people there lived a happy life, they did not have sufficient money to build a big metal bridge across the river. The elders got together again and decided that a fundraiser could help them raise enough funds to build a wooden bridge on the river. The entire village came together and participated in the local fundraiser. Stalls were set up for everything from games and refreshments to crafts and wares. The girls set up henna stalls and the boys organized the games section. The mothers had a bake sale and brought delicious food that people could buy. The villagers all flocked to the fair and joined each other in raising enough funds to build their bridge. It was a great turnout and the people finally had enough money to get started. Once the surrounding towns heard of the villagers' efforts of building a bridge, they all chipped in and donated what they could. Subsequently, the lumberjacks of the village were called upon and sturdy logs of wood were gathered to build the bridge. The people of the community volunteered to help them with the work. After a tough few weeks of hard work, the bridge was finally ready. The elders held an inauguration ceremony and the villagers gathered to finally see the fruit of their labor. The people of the village went back to their peaceful way of life and the bridge continued to be a great asset to the community. Hence, the wise villagers came to realize the importance of cooperation and collaboration. Not only does it help us find a solution to our problems, it also helps us live in peace and harmony with those around us. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share to your teaching guide for more lessons. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.